Okay, hazy and cool. Welcome, welcome, Dr. Dixon. Pleased to have you here. What's that? There we go. Hi. Everyone's coming aboard. Thank you for joining me. Up front, if I don't know you, you don't know me, please type in your name and where you're from would be great too, so I get a sense of who's watching. It's going to be hopefully an entertaining and involved, or I should say, interactive conversation, because the topic of what is dating ain't no small thing. So, to start with, my name is Barry Selby. I am the heartbreak repair specialist. I work primarily, let's put this down a bit, there we go. I work primarily with single women who want to have amazing relationships and who have heartbreak in the way of that. And my gift, my service is helping them heal and really get what they want. I am a #1 best-selling author. This is my book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. It's on Amazon, you can find it there. Look for that picture and you'll find it. 50 Principles for Healthy Relationships if you're single or a couple, any way you want to do it. And I just heard my friend here, Stormy, joining in. I knew he was going to do that. Okay. He's going to not add anything to the conversation because he's not much of a dater. He's a solo cat. So, again, for those who are just joining, my name is Barry Selby. I am known as the heartbreak repair specialist, and that's my focus, particularly with women because their hearts have been wounded so much. I did some damage myself, and I really am about helping them have what they want. So, the question today, what is dating? This is going to be an interesting topic because I've been having a conversation with a dear friend of mine this weekend, and I was going to do it yesterday, but something else came up. But today is the theme. What is dating? Because that's the question nowadays, because things have changed a lot from what it was 30, 40, 50 years ago. In the, quote, old days, at least to my understanding, dating was something that was done in a old-fashioned, chivalrous way, perhaps, where a man would ask a woman out and would pick her up and take her to dinner, and that would be what dating was. Then it would be into a relationship when it became more intimate physically. At least that's the model it came from what I've understood and watching movies and read, etc. Nowadays, dating means something else entirely, and that's where there's a quandary or a question about this, because for some people, and they're talking really locally about the United States because other countries have different morals, rules, and structures, but in this country, dating has a range of meanings depending on who you are and your environment and people around. To digress slightly, there's a new, well, it's fairly new, thing with the younger kids, like the teens and early 20s, I think, well, actually mostly teens, called hanging out. And that has taken the dating pool model completely out of the picture. They just literally go out and hang out together in groups of 8, 10 kids, and they basically pair off and do their thing, and then come back to the group. Now, there may be a loyalty amongst the couples in that group, but the truth is they don't go out on dates on their own. There's something about safety in numbers where they connect together first, and then they can split off and do their thing. So, that's not dating. And I have some personal beliefs and frameworks I talk about dating. So, if you want to tap in some hearts if you agree with what I'm saying, or just interested in finding out more, and if you have questions, please enter those as well, because I'd like to know your thoughts about what do you think dating is? What does it mean to you personally? And perhaps what you think the structure or the rules are, because dating is not something you just say, oh, you're dating, it's easy. It ain't. Because for some people, you're at Rancho Park. Cool, thanks for joining me. Dating, thanks Richard, appreciate it. Dating is anything from meeting someone for coffee at lunch during the day, at a neutral place, to sleeping with somebody overnight, multiple times. Now, I personally have a different structure about this, but I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to ask you this question, particularly if you're watching this live, because you can enter comments. If you're watching it in replay, tough luck. That'll pay you to watch my post to say, come join me at 6 p.m. Pacific time, because that's becoming my regular time most of the time. There are caveats on that. So, what is dating? What does it mean to you? When you're going out on dates, if you're single, that is, what does dating mean to you? Does that mean going out to get to know somebody? Or is it to meet several somebodies? Or is it for sex? Is it for romance? What does dating mean to you? You think that dating being exclusive and going out one-on-one multiple times. Okay, that's a good point. I'm almost curious to call that more like being in a relationship than dating, although I understand what you mean by being sequential and you're doing one at a time, which is respectful, which I appreciate definitely, because well, I'm going to save my answers for later on. I want to get your input now on this. So thank you for the heart, that one solar heart. You can feel free to add more. I did find out, by the way, that you can actually add up to, and this is insane, I don't know how you do it, up to 500 hearts per scope you're watching. That's a lot of tapping. I don't encourage you to do that. Well, if you want to, go for it. But frankly, 500 hearts is insane. But somebody I know told me that this is a fact about scopes. You can actually, that's a limit now. It's like Facebook has 5,000 friend limit. Well, apparently Periscope has a 500 heart limit per scope. Crazy. Anyway, back to the topic. What does dating mean to you? So that's one answer. Anybody else have any answers they want to add to this conversation? I welcome your input about what you think dating is and what it means to you. Whether you're a guy or a girl, man or a woman, what does dating mean to you? As I mentioned before, for those who just joined late, there's a range of perceptions of what dating is. It could be dating multiple, at least coffee. Indeed, it is. Definitely at least coffee. You can start with a coffee date. That could be dating someone for a one date, a coffee for an hour during the day at Starbucks or some other commercial place. Or it could be the whole gamut of dinner and a movie. Or it could be going out. In fact, some people who I know, when they call it dating, are sleeping with somebody. They're not doing anything else except going to bed with them. It's late night hookups. And they call that dating. So I'm really getting clear that this is a range of perceptions. And I have some thoughts on it from my perspective, from both what I've learned and what I've studied, and also what I know myself. Thank you for those hearts. Somebody wants to get sporadic. That's great. Thank you. So asking you again, anybody else, because Richard's been great with input, I appreciate that. Anybody else want to add to the conversation? What is dating to you? What does it mean to you? You can type something in on the screen. That would be appreciated. Of course, if you're online, I don't think you can. But if you're on the mobile app, please add your comments. Anybody? No, you're all watching, but you're not saying anything. You're all hiding out. I see. That's how it's going to be. I guess I'll have to talk more, at least get more into the conversation. So, someone who is spending time with you. That makes sense. I appreciate that. And just you. So you mean that you're talking about monogamy, at least in the spending time with you. Now, when you say spending time with you, do you mean that just in getting to know each other, or does that mean intimacy? What is your boundary with that? Both. Okay. So then dating for you includes sex, to put it that way, or it includes coffee and anything in between, but with one person at a time. Is that what you're saying? I think it is. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I can't... Is that tuck here? I'm sorry, it's hard to read the grey words above the word. So, yeah, so I appreciate the input. Thank you. I agree with that, definitely. That's a whole other conversation, and I'm probably going to do that on another topic about progression and about when you cross that line. Well, there may not be in this one based on the conversation where we're going. So that's another perspective. So that's two. So I appreciate both of you in putting input. And again, if you're just joining me, feel free to add hearts and put your comments in about what you think dating is about. I don't want to rush into this, but I guess it's going to move forward. Dating is, in one teaching I've studied with, dating is an analogous to being a sorting system. Now, what do I mean by that? Dating from the male masculine point of view, we as in our origins and our backgrounds were the hunters. Women were the gatherers, men were the hunters. And I'll give you more of what I mean by that. It's a different role. Because men in their masculine are more single-focused. We're laser-focused on the target. That's what makes a masculine man more in his authentic nature, is because he's single-focused. He's not distracted by other things. For hunting, that's superb skill set. Women have a benefit of having, first of all, women generally speaking have a wider peripheral vision than men do. That's in the biology. Because women in olden times, in quotes, spent more time being the protectors of the village. It was the kids were kept communally safe in the village, and then the women would go out with the kids, watch them play and make sure they're safe, make sure they don't eat the poisonous berries, they get the edible foods, watch out for predators. So women had a much bigger task of being more aware of what's going on. The men were going at hunting parties because we were single-focused. Dating is like that for men. The masculine mindset is literally going, are you the one? Are you the one? Are you the one? And so on. So dating is intended, and I was executed to be a single, one at a time, as Richard said earlier, one at a time, checking somebody out to see if you want to be together with them. So dating is something that is a sorting system, not a relating system. And I'll talk about that in a moment. So women have been trained, thank you, women have been trained to do the same thing because since about the 1970s, 80s, women and men have been on a very equal footing when it comes to the dating scene, because before that time, really, most women didn't drive their own cars, have their own apartments, or have their own jobs. That was a sexual revolution back in the 60s that changed everything. So for the last 60 years, 50 years, there's been a shift. And so men and women have been in the same arena at equal footing in some degree. So that's why the whole sexual revolution changed things, and women would ask men out. There's whole polarity about masculine and feminine. It's been a very confusing time for many of us. And I'm helping change that in my work with women and with men when I talk to them as well. There's a shift happening. So dating is a sorting system, a progression of getting to know somebody and saying, are you the one? Are you the one? That's useful because as men, we're goal-oriented. And we're always looking for the best goal. I mean, it's innate in our DNA. As masculine men, we want the best thing possible. That's the drive within us. So when it comes to relating, if it comes to a job, it comes to a car, a house, we want to get the best we can get. It's just the way we are. Women have been trained to do the same thing, which makes dating very much like, well, we're competing for each other. So who's sorting, who's hunting, who's doing whatever. It's not very romantic, as you can probably guess. But it does create some confusion. It does create some sexual happenings. And it does create some role switching when a woman asks a man out. And that was something that I talked about recently on a conference call. I may share it here as well. Relating, as in being in a relationship, is a commitment. Now, personally, I have my own personal standards for what that means to cross that line into a relationship. For some people out there, maybe some of you watching, dating is something that is independent of that boundary. Personally, physical intimacy is a relationship. I'll say that again. And this, again, it's for me. Maybe it's for you. But for me, physical intimacy is a relationship. And I'll talk about that why. Or explain why. That was what I was trying to say. When you have sexual connection, intercourse, pleasure, intimacy with somebody of the opposite sex or the same sex if that's your preference, you are connecting and enmeshing energy. I'm not going to get woo-woo on this, but I'm going to get really clear about this. Thank you for the thumbs up. So when you're with somebody in bed or on the kitchen table or wherever you do it, because there's always fun ways of playing, you're not just having a physical act, even though it may feel like that. Your energy is also interacting and connecting. And if you're dating, you're diluting your energy. Or if you're having sex with multiple partners, you're also spreading your energy, not your seeds, your energy thin. That's not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for your partners because you're not being fully present with each one of them. You may think you are, but your energy is split, and that isn't healthy. So what I mean when you cross into that relationship line is when you cross into that physical intimacy where you're no longer just getting to know somebody on the mental, emotional levels. You're now getting physically enmeshed. It's a different place to play. So I'm of the belief, my rules, my intentions, is in relationship. There's a line that's crossed from dating, which is like checking people out, going out for coffees and maybe dinner, get to know the person, finding out what their likes are, dislikes, that sort of thing. But none of that crosses over into the relationship until that line is crossed into sex. Something about making love, which I personally use the term because that's much more potent than just the word sex, because that's simplistic. You know, sex with yourself, but making love is usually with a partner. That intention, that act, that commitment requires, in my working, a monogamous and committed choice, because your energy then is meshed with one person. And that's healthy, particularly if you're doing it as a conscious choice. A conscious relationship, which involves sex, is one that grows. And the energy then builds, which means you are actually being fueled by your partnership. And that is very healthy. So to cross that line from dating into relationship, hi Crystal, nice to have you join us. You missed quite a bit of the content, but it's okay, you can watch the replay. There's, thank you for the hearts. There is a shift that's happened, to go back to what I was talking about earlier just for a moment, in the 90s and in the aughts, they call them, where dating was really, wow, I love this, thank you so much. There was this competitive nature where it was like, how many people can you get laid with or by or lay down yourself? And that was kept in the dating pool because it wasn't attachment. And so this is why I'm saying this dating thing is a messy line, because to go to bed with multiple partners, to have sex with multiple partners, you are diluting your energy. So even if you call it dating or relationships, which most people aren't doing multiple relationships at the same time, that's why you call it dating. It's safe to call it that. But the truth is that when you're dating several partners and you're doing sex with all of them, you are really diluting, spreading your energy thin. And it's not helping you, it's not sustaining you. So personally, I'd say don't do it. When you go on dates, and I'm talking about dating, spend the time getting to know people that you're interested in. And I say, get to know them on the deeper levels of who they are, what they believe in, what their intentions, what their visions are, where they want to go. When it comes to sex, you save that for that one particular person. You say, this is the one I want to explore with. Now, it may not last the rest of your life, but if you're committing to a relationship, spend the time with one person to include that sexual journey for as long as it goes. But at least you're then keeping your energy contained and established with that one partner that you can basically fuel each other and grow together. Is this all making sense? I think it is. I hope it's making sense to me, so I hope it's making sense to you. Any questions or thoughts along the way about how you think about dating versus relationship and sex versus that component too? Anybody? I'm not seeing anything, so I'm guessing that so far you're with me. If you want to put some emoticons in at various times, I'm certainly willing to see those too. Those are quicker to type than messages, and the hearts are always appreciated. Thank you for that. So, anything I need to recap? Well, I'll put a quick plug in for my work. Thank you, I appreciate that. And your name is that, I can't remember if it's Taki or Taria. Again, hard to read, sorry. But thank you for that. I'll look on the replay and see your name. So thank you, I appreciate that. So backing up to give you the summary of the whole thing. Basically, dating is the getting to know phase. Relationship is when you commit. For me, thank you. It's good to know you. Dating is the leading up to it. It's the sorting. It's the getting to know somebody and finding out who you like, who you don't like. Sex does not involve in that conversation. Sex happens in the relationship when you commit to that one person. Now, this is my rule book. It may not be yours. I'm just letting you know what I teach, coach, and prepare my clients for. Speaking of which, I have a program that I launched this past weekend that I launched on my list and I haven't put it out publicly yet, which is for women, and it's called the Dating Advantage. The Dating Advantage, when they're clear. It's an 8-week, it's an 8-step program that is designed for you to create the space, the energy, the clarity, and the attraction to attract the relationship you want. Now, I work with women, that's why the program's designed for them. Sorry guys, if you're watching, that one's for women. If you're interested in finding out more about that, drop me an email directly. I'm right now having my site changed over, so it's down right now. Really inconvenient timing, but that's the way it is. Send me an email at Barry, B-A-R-R-Y, at barryselby.com. That's what is easy to remember, because that's my name on here. Just put Barry at in front of that. My coaching is for women too, and I also have a big program coming out in about a month, which is a 9-month journey, which is huge. So that's my work, that's my commitment to my audience. And again, if you're interested, my book is on Amazon. If you want to get 50 principles for a healthy relationship, if you're single or couples, men or women, gay or straight, the 50 principles will apply to most of you, and some of the principles won't apply to you individually. That's okay, but the teaching in the book is it's clear, to the point, and very effective. And one second, again, and go pick it up again. This is the book cover, so you can see it if you're looking for Amazon. It's 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. It's on Amazon. That's the book cover, me on the back. It's a #1 bestseller on Amazon, which is wonderful. And it's something that I am grateful for because it really gave me the standing. People seem to think it's more important now. Just a sidebar from my own opening. All the stuff in the book I wrote. That means it was in here already. But before I had written the book, somehow people didn't know me or perceive me the way they do after I wrote the book. Go figure. However, it is something that I can be proud of and say my book has really changed some lives. In fact, a friend of mine who was already got a copy of my book, bought a copy for her dear friends getting married as a wedding gift. That's a first for me to have my own book given as a wedding gift. That's pretty cool. I'm signing off unless there's anything else you have any questions on, any thoughts. If you want to follow me, just drop me an email, Barry at barryselby.com. Again, that's BARRY at barryselby.com. And if you're interested in the Dating Advantage program, it is pre-launched at a discount price. It's going to go up once I get the final sales page up. So if you want it, get it now. And that's it. So that's the thing about dating. There's more to come on this, I know. I can already feel it. And then maybe some questions coming up where people on Twitter will message me over Twitter to ask about this. So again, Twitter, dating is a sorting system or a sorting method to find the one you want. Relationship is when you cross that line into sexuality. That's the simplistic way I'll say it. I trust that's what you'll choose. It's healthier, it's holistic, and it's what will support you in having what you want. And that's my work to help you get there. Okay? Thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the love. Thank you. I appreciate it. And again, message me if you want to email me for more questions, answers. I can help you with that too. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate the input from you folks that did. Much appreciated, because usually the scopes can be kind of flat and boring without input. So thank you for jumping in, and thank you for all the hearts. I really appreciate that too. Feel free to share the replay with your friends. By the way, two quick things I need to summarize. All of my scopes so far, this is number 11 in a row, are on catch.me, which is katch.me/barryselby. I've had all my scopes on there so far. And I've done 11 in a row because I'm part of a 30-day Periscope challenge. So if you're a scoper and want to get more practice or get more support, this Facebook group I'm part of, which is about 120 people, some of us are scoping every day. Not everybody is, no requirement. But we're getting to know each other and support each other, and also learning tips about how best to market and how to share our tips and how to share our guidance. So one of those was to change my profile thing on the front to put a call to action in there, which I did. Of course, with the site being down, that doesn't help. So that invitation is superfluous right now. However, these little tips help people. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, the email address I gave out already, you can send me an email and I'll hook you up with that Facebook group and how to get signed up for the 30-day Periscope challenge. Wherever you are in the world, there are people in the group from South America and from Europe as well, because that's where everybody is. Which is fun to get scopes at 9 in the morning for somebody who wanted late at night in Europe. It's just strange. Actually, afternoon. I got my time zones messed up. Excuse that. Thank you for watching. I'm obviously ready to go get something to eat because my brain's a bit fried. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. And please follow me. Yes, I'll be doing another scope tomorrow. Tomorrow may not be the same time. I'm not sure because I'm going to be somewhere else. Depends on when I get on my phone and some privacy to do a scope. But usually they're around 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I love sharing tips and guides to help you have a better love life. Thanks again. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.